Good afternoon. Welcome to the March 19th meeting of the Revenues Subcommittee. We have 5 bills on our agenda today. As previously advertised, HB 358, HB 933, and HB 1149. We have added 2 bills pending approval from appropriations, HB 13 and HB 472. We are going to start with HB 433, Sales and Use Tax, Certificates Indicating Multiple Points of Use Alterations. This bill, as it was introduced, alters provisions of the state sales and use tax regarding multiple points of use certificates for the purchase and use of specified digital codes, digital products, and taxable data and information technology services. The committee has worked with the Comptroller's Office and the Maryland Chamber of Commerce on some amendments which provide for the application and denial, renewal, and revocation of authorization for a buyer to issue multiple points of use certificates, to provide for the validity and rescission of MPU certificates, to require an authorized buyer to provide and a vendor to verify MPU certificates in a certain manner, and to change the bill's effective date. I will note before we get into discussion that we have representatives from both the Comptroller's Office and from the Chamber with us on the call to help with answering questions, should there be any. So let's just start with that. Any questions before we take a motion on the amendments? Okay, not seeing any, would entertain a motion.
Move favorable.
Second.
Okay, the amendments have been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Okay, that is unanimous on the bill as amended.
Move favorable.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on HB 933 as amended? All right, all those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Thank you. That passes unanimously on to full committee. Next, we will take up HB 358, Sales and Use Tax, Elementary or Secondary School Book Fairs Exemption. This bill extends an exemption from the state sales and use tax to sales made at an in-person elementary or secondary school book fair conducted in partnership with a third-party vendor. So this is about basically PTA fundraisers that are book fairs. There are no amendments on this bill.
Move favorable.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on HB 358 or questions? All right, all those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Anyone? Okay, that passes unanimously on to full committee. Thank you. And next, moving on to HB 1149, State Finance Claims of the State Settlement. The bill authorizes the comptroller to settle a claim of the state that is in arrears, regardless of how long the claim has been in arrears. Currently, there's a 2-year waiting period. The amendments just limit the bill so it is applicable to businesses that have permanently ceased operations. So we're kind of taking a little bit of a pilot approach, and I've talked to the bill sponsor about this just to see what the operational impacts will be at the comptroller's office. But, to start with, this will at least allow these entities to not have to wait the 2-year waiting period. Questions or discussion?
Move the amendment.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions on the amendments? Okay, all those in favor of the amendments to HB 1149, please say aye or raise your hand. Anyone opposed? Delegate Addison, just clarifying, is that a yes vote or a no vote? Yeah, I'm guessing a yes vote, given who the bill sponsor is. Yeah. All right. The amendments are adopted on the bill as amended.
Move favorable.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor of HB 1149 as amended, please say aye, raise your hand. All right, great. That one also goes on to full committee. Okay, so we have 2 more bills that, as I mentioned at the top of this, are subject to approval from appropriations. So we are taking them up in subcommittee now and assuming that, if we do get approval from appropriations, they will be on the full committee voting list later today, hopefully. So the first one is HB 13, income tax subtraction modification, public safety employee retirement income. This bill expands eligibility for the public safety employee retirement income subtraction modification to include specified retirement income attributable to service as a 911 specialist. There are no amendments.
Move favorable.
Second.
We'll let Delegate Vogel second that one, or if he wants to make the motion.
No, I defer to Delegate Feldmark.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry.
We're so enthusiastic to pass your bill, Delegate Vogel. All right. Any discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor of HB 13, please say aye or raise your hand. All right, that passes unanimously, subject to approval from appropriations. And our last bill for today, HB 472, income tax theatrical production tax credit sunset extension. The bill extends the theatrical production tax credit for an additional 5 years through tax year 2031. We do have amendments, and the amendments limit the excess amount of tax credit certificates that the Department of Commerce may carry forward and issue in subsequent taxable years. And it limits it at 20 million. Is that right, George? He is nodding, yes. Okay. On the amendments. Yes, Delegate Griffith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I know there are some questions about individual productions gobbling up the lion's share of these tax credits. Have we done anything to address that to make sure there's parity, both geographical and through other projects?
I'll be happy to defer to the Vice Chair in a second. I'll just say that so far, utilization of the program, this has not been an oversubscribed program. So that hasn't, I think, been an issue to date, but I'll let the Vice Chair elaborate further.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I think that's correct. I think we've seen historically a little bit more of that on the film production side. The theatrical productions, we haven't seen that sort of thing where like one big show comes in and eats it all up. It's been, I think there's always been some available for new productions coming in.
All right. Thank you.
And I also say to the regional piece, there are a couple of production companies that have gotten the credit to date. I did meet with these folks earlier in session, and I do believe they said that there are additional outfits that are eligible. They are fairly geographically diverse across the state. So there definitely is, and there is room for growth in the program. So I think we're good on that front. But thank you for raising that question, that issue. Anything else? Other questions or discussion? Otherwise, we'll take a motion on the amendments.
Move the amendments.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor of the amendments to HB 472, please say aye or raise your hand. All right, those are unanimous and on the bill as amended.
Move favorable.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, on HB 472 as amended, please say aye or raise your hand. All right, that also passes out unanimously, subject to approval by appropriations. That is it for our agenda today. Thank you, colleagues. We are adjourned.